loves, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna talk about I'm gonna answer a question that I got on the Botanica Essentials video. Angeles Carter asked, I love your channel. Do you have any tips on how to prevent others from spiritual/astral listening in on your life and astral projection in your home to spy on you? So that is the question that we're going to answer today. Before I get started though, a quick reminder. So the workshop series that I do once a month, the one for May is up. It's going to be on May 4th. Is all about the basics of energy healing. So we're going to cover energy healing in everything. We're not, it's not going to be like an attunement, like we're not going to do a Reiki like situation. However, I will be explaining and diving into energy healing in different modalities and how to incorporate and start adding certain things to your practice, because I do think it's important to, you know, work with energy healing in your practice in some capacity. We're always energy healing. That is a topic for next month's workshop. So definitely make sure you get your tickets down below. And the second thing is, do not forget to use the code Spring Equinox for 20% off all of my services. It ends on the full moon in Libra, happening April 16th. That's the last day to use the code. With that being said, how do you prevent others from spiritual/astral listening in your life and astral projection in your home to spy on you? So the reason why the title of this video is going to be called something along the lines of an intro to wards or warding, it's because this is obviously one of the best ways to protect yourself from any type of astral like work trying to penetrate, or people spying on you, or even when it comes to just listening or picking up certain things on a spiritual level. Now there's different ways to work with astral like projection and stuff like that, to do different things, and there's different ways to protect yourself overall, and warding would be within protection work, because it is a protective tool that you're using, or a protective form that you're using specifically. And there's many different ways in which you can work with, specifically working with wards. If you see me looking to the sides, because I'm just looking at my notes, because I feel like it's important to, you know, have notes, because you guys know I talk a lot and I would just get all over the place anyway. So when it comes to warding, I'm actually going to explain warding with using one of my favorite video games of all time, which is Skyrim. Skyrim is low-key one of my favorite video games, and I swear to God, I feel like if everybody in the world would play that game, everybody would just love it, because it's just such a great game. Especially if you love fantasy, if you love anything spiritually, anything like that has to do with like medieval or Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings, and it's a combination of so many things, but it's its own thing at the same time. There's like literally different gods, goddesses, and spirits that are in Skyrim that have like missions, and you have to kind of like there's different missions to like working with them in a deified way, and they bless you in different ways. Their statues will bless you in different ways if you like go pray at them. Like literally the game is so good. It is one of my favorite games of all time. It's probably my favorite game of all time, to be honest. It's like Skyrim, Tomb Raider, what's the other one? Super Mario. Like those are like my favorite games of all time, but Skyrim just holds a very special place in my heart, because they have different things. Okay, they have like, for example, they have like a school of magic, and where they teach you about different kind of spell work, like destruction spell work, like which is it's like, you know, attacks, and you know, like if you wanted to do like hexings, if you wanted to do protection work like wards, which is used in the video game. They have lower wards, they have wards that absorb different, you know, energies like magicka. So if somebody tries to attack you, you're actually taking their energy, and the ward will transmute it to basically help you out, so it gives you energy, and all of that you can literally do real life, which is why I freaking love this game so much. It's like, y'all know I just moved. I've been waiting to connect the TV just so I could play some Skyrim, like literally. Maybe we should have a Skyrim live or something like that. But when it comes to wards, in the video game, wards are used like as a shield. And that's really the way that you want to think about wards. Wards, you are warding something away. You're repelling away, okay? So it is like a shield. It is something that is covering you, your aura. It is covering your home. It is covering your car. Whatever it is that you're trying to ward specifically, that's what it's doing. So for example, if you are doing a spell in nature, like let's say you are, in the forest and you're trying to do a ceremony or something, you're going to want to ward off the space that you're not using. You're going to want to ward off away from the space that you are using, so nothing, no other spirits or anything that you don't want to comes through and disrupts your work. So warding essentially has been done for a long ass time, and it's just about creating a safe and sacred place. Now, depending on what you're warding specifically, you can literally ward yourself. So there's different ways to go about warding. One of my favorite ways to do it is using something that already has its own energy flow, and that way would be crystals. So for example, I love warding with selenite, just because selenite is amazing for protection, and it's also great for angelic communication. So I work with selenite specifically with Archangel Michael the most, for protection and any type of warding work. I work with selenite. So because selenite already has its own energy flowing through, what you would do with the ward is amplify. Okay, to ward with crystals, you would amplify the energy of the selenite. So you will hold it in your hands, okay? And then you would close your eyes, visualize the energy of the crystal while it's in your hands, amplifying. So it's growing like as this shield all around, and you are moving and amplifying the energy around the space that you want it to ward off, right? So for example, if you have a selenite necklace, right? Let's say this is a necklace. It's gonna be a heavy ass necklace if it was a necklace, but let's say this was a necklace, okay? And I am, I specifically chanted this or anointed this or just like set the intention for this to ward me when I'm wearing it from anything that has that's trying to attack me or have any type of negative intentions, or even the evil eye. Or even people trying to be sneaky, or even like people trying to send their spirits to me or anything like that of the sort. While I'm wearing this selenite necklace, okay, situation, I am in this bubble, this shield, okay? I'm in this ward, I'm protected. That's how you would use it on a personal level on you. Now, if you ward regularly, which is a form of protection, if you ward regularly, what you will find is that people can't get to you. Like on yourself, people can't get to you. One of my favorite places to ward is specifically my home. If I'm doing some sort of spell work outside, I'll ward outside, but my home is number one when it comes to the warding. You can ward with different ways. You can ward with sigils, you can ward with crystals, you can ward with different spirits. Like I just mentioned, I work with Archangel Michael for warding and for protection. So that's one of the ways. So when I amplify the energy and have this just field of energy that is like a wall, penetrate, like nothing can get through. It is literally like nothing can come through. It's gonna prevent anybody from being able to attack me while I'm in my home, being able to attack me or send anything to me or try to sneak into my house on a spiritual level. This is really, it's important for you to practice warding, especially when it comes to people trying to be sneaky, because the thing about it is that when you're in your home, let's say you warded your home, whatever, but when you're sleeping, you're in your subconscious mind, okay? The subconscious mind, it is a very sensitive space. If you've seen Inception, okay, it wasn't all lies. It is a very sensitive space. And there's a lot of vulnerability that can come through from just being within your subconscious and not being protected as well. And you have to make sure that you set intention to be protected while you sleep, as well as warding within your home space. Because when you're in your physical form, it's a little bit different than when you're in your subconscious mind. It is completely, it impacts you spiritually, because it's not like you're navigating through your physical body. You're in that dream world. You're in a space where easily, if you're not protected, different things can come through. You can get spiritually attacked. You can get like different types of like sleep paralysis. I've seen people like not being able to like wake up, or people getting attacked in a way where it's like it goes internally through their dreams and then they stop them from moving their physical bodies. Like it's very layered, like the way that, you know, people would tailor spell work. But this is why using crystals, hold on, let me grab the other one. Using crystals is like one of my favorite ways to do it, because you can have one by your pillow, so that you are specifically warding like your bed or your dreams, or you're setting intention for that specifically. I love using black tourmaline and onyx as well. These are really amazing for strength specifically. This is my onyx moon, which I am absolutely in love with. For strength specifically, to give you power, but also for protection. So one of the ways that I would ward with onyx is for it to absorb, again, like I mentioned earlier with the video game, how some of the wards, they have different kind of modifications to protection, where you can have a ward that actually absorbs the negative energy that's trying to come through and transmutes it and gives you the energy instead, in like not in an attack way, but in a, you're just absorbing the energy. You're actually taking it, transmuting it, and now it's yours. Now that energy you can use for spell work or for something else. And you can do this with so many different things. You could do this with different dirts, jars. You can have like different protective sigils specifically for taking and transmuting the energies. You can work with your spirits for this as well. You can also do like different, when it comes to specifically trying to transmute the energy, that can seem itself a little bit advanced, but you can use crystals, especially onyx is really good for this, because it's meant to give you a foundation of strength, but it's also protective. You can literally tether it to you or to your home, for example, and specifically have it be amplified, but the energy that's coming through is actually just feeding you. You're like feeding on people's energy that is trying to attack you, but you have to set the intention with the crystal itself while you're tethering it to you or to your home space, however it is that you want to do it. It is like there's a lot of different ways to kind of work with this, but I'm just kind of giving you guys a little bit of the breakdown of warding itself and kind of how to navigate protecting yourself in different levels spiritually. There's different also waters that you can use, especially because water is a current, it's a spiritual current. Within my practice, water is a spiritual current, but I feel like water is a spiritual current for everywhere. So you can literally keep just like a glass of water next to you while you're sleeping, with the intention that it's meant to absorb anybody trying to attack you in your dreams. And instead of it hitting your head, it will hit the water. The water will just, it's like the chupa, like it'll suck it, like it'll redirect it to the water. It'll absorb and transmute into the water. And you might notice the next day that the water itself might be like really bubbly, or you might see certain things in the water as well. And that will show you that, one, people are trying to break through into your mental barriers, but also that it transmuted the energy. So that's one way to do it with water specifically. You can also put Florida water in water, okay, in a glass of water, and then do the same thing, and it's just going to help to cleanse any type of energy coming through, or even just as protection for your dreams as well. This is a really, really good way of doing it. But it's just really, really important to kind of break down all of the very layered ways that you can ward. You can ward with different types of like dirt. You can make protection. You can make like black salt. It's protective and can be used for warding if you use it correctly. If you're warding specifically, like let's say you don't want, you know, certain people to cross your front door, or if you put, you know, black salt in front of your door, like, oh, whoever has bad intentions with me can't enter, and then all of a sudden your friend doesn't want to come in the house for some reason, red flag. Okay, so there's like, it's very layered, but you'll be able to see results, but you have to catch the subtleties, because sometimes it's kind of like it's things that you can do, like the water and the black salt and like even the crystals that you can do, that literally just sit in the space, and you'll be like, oh, you know, I did it, but you know, I guess it's working because I haven't had anything bad come through, right? But you have to just one, trust that it's working, but also make sure you check up on them as well. One of the things that I like to do is check up on my protective crystals. I will like make sure I cleanse them regularly, like at least once a week, or even less than that. Like, especially like, let's say I got a sign or it's coming up in my cards when I'm doing divination, like somebody's trying it or seeing something shift, I will check on all my crystals and I will like reset the energy, cleanse and reset the energy. Another way to ward is with plants, but just keep in mind that if you ward with plants, if they end up taking the hit for you, the plant can die. That's another way to work with animals as well. And sometimes your pets will take a bullet for you, like that's happened to me before. Sometimes a pet will take a bullet for you because somebody's literally trying to send you some really nasty stuff. So keep that in mind. There's certain things within your home space that will already, you know, especially if your spirits, your ancestors wanted you to incorporate them into your practice or your life, that are going to be helping you like navigate that and are going to be naturally like just warding off. But just keep in mind that there are certain things that you can use that will, like your plants are known to take hits for people and it will die, and there's no way that you can do that to bring that plant back to life. It's just like it's dead. And for that, you know, you honor the plant, you thank the plant for what, you know, for helping you. And you know, you can either like compost it or whatnot. I would recommend composting it because it just makes much sense to just recycle that. But it just like transmutes the energy naturally, you know, within nature. So I would always choose that over anything else. You can ward with perfume and glamour magic as well. That's another way that you can ward. So you can ward with makeup. You can ward like when you're doing your makeup routine, your skincare routine. You can set intention for like, or you can even activate different fragrance notes to do certain things to like, if you want it to be protective, you know there's a fragrance note in there that's really good for protection. Boom, this like anoint it with a protection oil or set intention, activate that note in there, and boom, anytime that you're wearing that fragrance or anytime you're wearing that, you know, lip color, it's gonna protect you from certain people or certain things. So that's a way from doing it in like glamour magic, and just kind of like doing it with what you're wearing. Also the clothes that you're wearing for the day, you can set intention for your clothes. You can tether your clothes to be a repellent from people that you don't want around you. And you could just like work with the like, especially if it's cotton, if it's something naturally made, cotton is one of the best ones to work with when it comes to spell work. And it's natural, so it's nature based, so you can connect with the energy of cotton itself and help to protect yourself and ward people away from you with your clothes. You can do this with jewelry as well. I like to do it with necklaces all of the time, my bracelets, all of that kind of stuff. I will do certain wards on my bracelets to protect certain things too. Like I use carnelian to protect my womb space like the most. Because that is my source of manifestation, and I do not want my womb to be blocked, because then it's going to create issues for me when it comes to manifestation of spell work, and I'm going to be able to notice it. So I work with carnelian. Okay, I work with carnelian obsessively. When it comes to my womb, I will protect her all day, every day of my life. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Okay, when it comes to just protection in like outside spaces, you can do like a protective circle. You can also do this in your home if your home is warded and you wanted to just do a protective circle on top of that, just because whatever work that you're doing, you don't want any disruptions in it. You can also add a ward to it. There's different ways to do wards as well, where you can create a fog when somebody tries to see or look into what you're doing. You can create a fog, so it's like you can't see past their protective barrier. And instead of their protective barrier being like, you know, it could be light, you can have your ward be completely light, or you can have it be completely fog. So it's kind of like you can't really see, like if the person's trying to divine or the person's trying to astral project or see what's going on, it's just like it's all gray, it's all a fog. That you can also change the colors of your ward and use different elements within your ward. So one of the ones that I like to use the most is it's the fog, because you won't be able to see anything. You just won't be able to see anything. You don't want to be able to say what I'm doing, nothing. You won't be able to see nothing. It will just be a gray fog over the home as well. So you can do it with light. You could do it with like a fog. You could do it like black, or you can put like walls or brick. You could do different things when you're wording as far as what you want it to look like as well. The last thing that I will mention is probably stuff that you would put outside of your home. So there's certain things that you can put outside of your home for different things. My favorite ones to work with though is rocks, because rocks have their own properties as well. And it's just because it's foundationally part of my practice. My indigenous practice specifically is to work with rocks and crystals and stuff. So I like, you know, having certain stones in front of the house as a protective ward, okay? And because rocks are very stable, very grounded, the energy of the wards tend to last for a really long time. And so I like to have that outside of the home, outside of the windowsill. Depending on what it is that I'm doing, I will make sure that, you know, I will go in, check in on it, cleanse it. But you can also do this with the plants outside of your home. There's people who have like rosemary, like bushes and stuff like that. Amazing for protection and purification and just transmuting energy. And you can use those plants outside to naturally do and use their properties, which is something that, you know, you can do fairly easily if you have like a garden or plants outside. But again, just keep in mind that sometimes they will take the hit for you if something really, really nasty was sent your way. So yeah, keep that in mind. Trees is another way that you can ward if you build a relationship with, like, let's say you have a tree in your backyard and you're just very grounded with that tree, you do a lot of spell work with that tree. You can literally use that tree for protection and warding as well. And because trees have roots, their wards are really powerful because they tend to range really, really big. So keep that in mind. That's a little bit advanced, but you know, another way that you can ward as well. But yeah, I hope that this was like a good enough like foundation for like warding basics and things that you can do and implement into your practice when it comes to warding. I feel like warding is really, really important because it's just, you want to be protected. You guys know my two most recommended practices is protection work and healing. Those two things are, whether you're a newbie or you're an old bee, you should be practicing at all times, because spirits will try it, okay? Spirits, low vibrational spirits and spirits period will try with you with your protections, but also people will try to, okay? It's a lot of things that would just want to follow you home and try. We don't got time. We don't got the time. So just be mindful and be, you know, think about these things when you are doing spell work. Prioritize your protection work. Make sure that you are taking the steps to, you know, set a good protective shield with yourself, because especially when you start working with different deities that are amazing for protection, like Setmet being one of them, Santa Muerte being one of them as well. When it comes to working with different deities for protection, and like spirits and santos and stuff like that, they're amazing at what they do. Like Archangel Michael's amazing at what Archangel Michael does as well, and you can incorporate that into your wards, or you could just work with them, period. But I feel like it's important to have a foundational understanding on how to ward and protect yourself, because if you're leaving a back door open, like if you're protecting your home, but when you walk outside you're not you know, really doing anything for protection or to protect your energy or your space, then if you get spiritually attacked, you get spiritually attacked. You know what I mean? So it's important for you to be very conscious about all aspects of your life. So if you're at work, make sure you have some protective crystals. Like you can literally just put a black tourmaline on your desk, or carry it with you, or have a necklace with you that you just go to work with. Like mine was always smoky quartz, because it's very protective, but it transmutes negative energies and emotional negative energies. And because I was working in the customer service field, I would get so many people trying to project shit on me, and I'm just like, no. And the smoky quartz would literally just absorb, destroy. Like that's my baby. My smoky quartz is my baby. But yeah, so there's the different ways to kind of work with warding, but super, super important to do it on a daily and have that foundational energy. One of the other ways that I do it too is with my hold on, let me find it. It's back here somewhere. It's this one. My protection oil, this one I got from Moonlight and Sage. I will draw sigils every day with this. This is part of my regular practice. Because this is with the intention to protect you spiritually. And so I use this every single day, and I will draw sigils literally on my legs, like boom, protected. Do not have to worry about it. So if I leave my house, I know that I am protected. I know I set that foundation for that protection, and I can set the intention of what it is that I want to be protected by, and like specifically what I want, you know, to repel when I'm using this. But that's a really easy way to just kind of like do that and go with the flow. So that's another way that you can do it as well. Anyway, this video is getting really long. Y'all know I could talk a lot. I love you guys. I hope that y'all learned something from this video, and I hope that that answered the question on how to prevent people from, you know, being snoopy and trying it. I will see y'all in the next video. Thank y'all so much for watching. I love you guys so much. Have a blessed day.